let's talk about guru worship in ayahuasca and other plant medicine ceremonies. Why it's becoming so prevalent and why it's dangerous to idolize and to give pedestals to the people that are sitting behind the altar. It's a disturbing trend that I've been witnessing for many years now, but it is growing in commonality that the people leading plant medicine ceremonies, particularly ayahuasca, it's as if they are, gurus. And while I, of course, advocate that the people sitting behind the altar deserve incredible respect for the lifestyle that they live, for the training that they do, for the risks that they take and the responsibilities that they hold to carry these medicines, people deserve all kinds of respect. But they don't deserve pedestals, and they don't deserve credit for what happens in terms of the magic that occurs in these ceremonies. So why is it so dangerous to worship or to give pedestals to the people that are pouring these medicines? So many reasons. Let's cover a few. First, fundamentally, plant medicines like ayahuasca and mushrooms, one of the core teachings that they really universally reflect to those of us that work with them is around sovereignty and autonomy. And any of us that have been in the throes of a really intense plant medicine ceremony seeking healing and insight, we know that we do the healing, that nobody does it for us, including the plants themselves. And they show us that one of the core issues in our culture is the way in which we have given our power around being our own healers to the Western medical system that fails us in so many ways, to basically anybody in authority that says, I can help you. And again, we learn through pain of giving our power away that it's not another person or even a plant or the universe itself that heals us, it's us. Yes, we implore help. We ask for guidance and some, healing superpowers and the medicines themselves for insight and assistance. But whenever we give our power of, hey, please, person or plant, heal me, we learn unequivocally that it's never an outside influence and energy that heals us. So if we bring that into the plant medicine space, when we give our power to the person sitting behind the altar of like, you are superior than me, you are the healer, you have the answers, you have the power, we're setting ourselves up to once again find out it's never ever true. So right there is one of the fundamental reasons why the guru worship thing is really dangerous, because it's not healing. It doesn't bring us to the realization that we are all equally powerful in who we are as conscious beings capable of healing ourselves. The other reason I want to bring in is if you look at the indigenous cultures that have worked with these medicines for thousands of years, the medicine man or medicine woman is just as important but equal as any other role in the tribes. So whether you're the medicine woman or you're the hunter-gatherer or you're the builder or you're the caretaker or you're the storyteller, all of these roles are important and there's no hierarchy. But what we do, we being Westerners that are new to the magic of shamanism, is we think that the shaman is somehow superior. And this is causing all kinds of painful issues, because when we give our power in that way of like, you're greater than me, the pedestal, there is only one thing that can happen when someone receives a pedestal. They're going to fall off of it hard eventually. Now, take it from someone who's given a lot of pedestals. I gave, especially my first shaman, maestro, a pedestal, and my teacher a massive pedestal, and a couple of things happened. My first maestro, who I adored, he Peruvian, indigenous, and I was one of the first wave of Westerners in the early 2000s to visit this particular retreat center multiple times. And I gave him my power in that I thought he was better than me, more powerful, more magical. And it created this sort of icky energy. And the way that it played out is after a ceremony, this is my 4th or 5th time down there, he kissed me. And it created this awful feeling in the moment of, I've been violated. And in the moment that it happened, I remember hearing ayahuasca say to me, you know, you're equally accountable for this because of the pedestal that you gave him. So you can either right now write the story that you've been traumatized and that he's this horrible person, or you can see the dynamic that co-created it and address it and hold him accountable, but hold yourself accountable too. And it was such a teaching moment. And while what he did isn't excusable, I played a big role because that pedestal created this confusing energy between us that he read as sexual, as romantic. And I didn't mean it that way, but I could see how it could be taken that way. When you revere and adore someone, it can be taken all kinds of ways. So we addressed it, by the way. I love this man still. I still feel safe with him because we worked it out. He was accountable for his part and I was accountable for mine. It was like, this is what the medicine teaches, that we are in this together and we are equal, and that these mixed signals, especially when we create a hierarchy, they're super dangerous. The other thing that happens when we allow the person that's leading ceremonies to act like a guru is the community itself turns into more of a hierarchy, and it becomes competitive, and it becomes like a triangle. Somebody at the top and everybody vying for either the equal sort of energy or power of the top or the attention of the person at the top. Ayahuasca shows me repeatedly, it's a circle, what we are creating. And we're all in this together, and nobody is better than or less than. But as individuals that participate in these experiences, if we treat the shaman or the medicine facilitator as a guru or as a, all-powerful being, it's just going to create a dynamic that will inevitably have them fall from grace and have us as people who gave the pedestals be disappointed because they're human, and they're going to show their humanness in their shadow. And that competitiveness that happens in the community, it's awful. That's the kind of thing we're trying to heal, is the way that we treat each other through a space of competition, and instead see that, we're equals, all of us. We're in different places in our journeys, we know different things, but that doesn't make anybody better or less than. So as participants, I feel like we hold a responsibility to stop with the guru stuff and be respectful, but not perpetuate the spiritual egos that happens. Because the other thing, and I watched this happen with my teacher who I gave a pedestal to, is when the person themselves, the shaman or facilitator, starts to believe that, oh, the magic is because of them, because all of these people going, you're amazing, you healed me, you did this, you did that. That spiritual ego starts to take over, no matter how powerful and gifted they are as a shaman. When the spiritual ego takes over, then the space, it reflects it. And it's no longer about the medicine, it's about the person and their ego, and that is not nearly as magical. I remember my teacher used to say to me, if I start taking credit for what happens in ceremony, smack me upside the head, because it's never about what we, the facilitators, are doing. We're the vessel to allow the energies of the medicine to come into the space, but we're not the ones that create the magic. We can't force someone to heal. It has to happen on an individual level. So when we're out of integrity with that, when we think it's about the individual themselves, we are literally creating a block from allowing the magic of healing ourselves to occur, because we're looking outside of ourselves and we're expecting it to happen. Not to mention the diciness, the messiness that happens when that spiritual ego of the shaman takes over and thinks it's all about me, because the medicines are going to have no choice but to reflect that that isn't true, which means that it will show up in the space too. So stop worshiping the people, but sit behind the altar. I don't care how many years of experience they have. They deserve respect. They don't deserve our power and our hierarchy, the pedestals, ever. So I do my best to never receive them, and I want people to stop trying to give them to all of us, to remember that we're healing ourselves. We're each responsible for that. And thank goodness that it's not up to somebody else to do it for us, that it's up to us, because then we are empowered and we know that we're each capable of navigating this space. And that would keep, if we could hold this as our awareness and truth, that will keep the communities that we sit in full of camaraderie and support instead of competition and hierarchy. That's my 2 cents on getting guru worship out of plant medicine spaces. And by the way, I have no issue with the Bhakti path, which is what guru is all about. I had a guru once upon a time in my 20s until I realized that I'm my own guru. Even giving the plants that energy. It used to be ayahuasca was my guru, and she's like, I don't want to be your guru, I'm your partner, I'm your friend, I'm your mother, but not your guru. So even doing that to the plants is out of integrity, creating that hierarchy. We're all in this together, and the planet needs us to own that awareness so that we can heal ourselves and be in alignment with her, so we can stay here for many, many, many generations more. Thank you for listening and for being a champion for keeping all of that ickiness out of these really sacred spaces. Next week, I'm going to talk about why it's really important to take our time when we're on the path of becoming a facilitator, not to rush the process, and what can happen if we do. So tune in again next week, next Wednesday. I'll see you there. Thank you, everybody, for comments and for the support and for waving. I appreciate all of you too, and I'll see you in a week. Be safe and happy out there. Much love.